Hey guys, Coach Jason, hope you're doing well. Normally this is a workout I would do outside with some equipment, but there's a tropical storm going on and crazy wind, and it wouldn't make much sense to do it outside. So I'm doing it from a little makeshift center in my house here. I want to talk about 3 or 4 things that I highly encourage you to do before a run or a workout or a race. Things that'll make you feel just looser, more efficient. Okay, just make you feel better. They will make you more efficient, and in turn will help you conserve energy, particularly in longer races. It's just going to overall improve your performance. Okay, the way you feel and your performance, whether it be in a workout or a run or a race, it doesn't matter. The goal is to get you ready for the activity that you're going to do. And the things that I want to go over today are going to help you do that. Okay, there's a lot of other things that you probably have seen that folks can do, but I've used these things for years myself as a former competitor and a coach of the past 20 years. These are things that I teach my athletes. I encourage them to do, and they make it into their own. Okay, depending on where they live, how much time they have. And again, what I'm going to show you right now is stuff that you can do at home before you go out, which is the reason why I wanted to do it from home, to show you how easy it is that you could do. Okay? But at the same time, whether you're going for a run, if you're going to do a workout, this is stuff that you could do outside before you start your workout as well, and you don't really need any equipment, which is the great thing. So I'm just using 2 chairs, and one of them is going to act as a wall, one of the other one's going to act as a hurdle. But before I do that, I want to go over sequence. Sequence is important, okay? What order do you do things, okay? Over the past 2 decades, I've learned a couple things, and sequence has been one of the most important, okay? A couple different scenarios. Let's say it's cold out, and you're going to race or do a hard workout, 800-meter repeats or whatever it is. Let's say 6x800 or 5K pace, right? And you go out and do a 2-mile warm-up. And it's cold, and then after you warm up, you do 20 minutes or whatever static stretching, and then you try to fire yourself back up again by doing some drills and plyos and some fast strides, and then you go hopefully on the line or before the workout or race feeling good. Now, one of the issues that I've noticed with that, and also as from experience as well, is running. Okay, gets your body warm, gets your heart rate up, gets the muscles kind of triggered and ready to go. And then static stretching after that helps them cool down. Static stretching is not sport specific. Holding a stretch for a long period of time is not sport specific. It doesn't trigger them and get them ready for activity. Okay, so think about it, warming up and then cooling it down again, especially in the cold, and then expecting to fire them up again with some fast drills and strides before a workout or a race. If you've ever done that and sometimes feel a little stiff or a little achy and so on, that could be a reason why. Okay, so I want to talk about a different sequence today. The first thing I recommend is active isolated flexibility. I'm going to put a video in the description down below. I highly encourage you to watch it. Okay, I've been certified by Jim and Phil Wharton for over 20 years, and it's a method of flexibility that is specific to everything. Okay, any kind of activity. And having worked with them for over a decade, we've used it on professional athletes of all sports, opera singers, construction workers, bankers, judges, whoever, doesn't matter. Somebody who just wants to feel good throughout the day, somebody who has a bad back. We've helped people with scoliosis and a whole bunch of other issues, okay? But this routine will help you not only warm the muscles up and get them ready for any kind of activity, but it could be the difference between needing 3 to 4 miles to start feeling normal of an 8-mile run, or feeling good right out the door, okay? Or feeling good the next day after a hard workout or a race or a long run, and so on. This helps speed up the recovery process on the back end too, in terms of flushing out lactic acid or flushing out heavy legs after those long runs, or if you're doing marathon training and so on. But it also, like I said, it helps you get your muscles in your body fired up and ready for activity in a way that's specific to running or specific to anything, but in this situation, specific to running, because you're individually isolating one muscle at a time without irritating them by holding the stretch for a long period of time. If you ever held the stretch for a long period of time and it starts to feel uncomfortable, that's something called a myostatic reflex. It's basically telling you, okay, you gotta back away. Okay, so the philosophy behind the stretching routine is different. Watch the video, you'll get a better understanding, and I take you through the entire routine. That's the first thing I recommend folks do. After that, if it's just a run day, I'm going to show you a few exercises that you could do to kind of get the muscles triggered and ready to go as well. Particularly if you're sleeping and you get up in the morning, you've been sleeping all day, sleeping all night, and you're going to basically go right out the door. You don't have a lot of time. Or if you've been sitting all day like this at work, where your legs are bent and your hips are starting to tighten up and so on, and you don't have a lot of time to do it after work before dinner and stuff, this is a routine that can help you do that. And these exercises can help you further along the muscles being ready for activity. And you'll feel a heck of a lot better. It's also a way of developing strength and range of motion in a non-invasive way. That's, again, specific to running. Okay? So I'm going to show you a couple of things to do. So it would be active isolated stretching, then these exercises before a run, or active isolated stretching, and then a warm-up jog or whatever whatever it is, your warm-up jog, whatever you prescribe for your athletes or do for yourself. And then these exercises, and then your plyometrics and drills, and then you work out or a race, and then a cool down afterward. That's the sequence, okay? And it's an important sequence. And from over 20 years experience, I can tell you it's a game changer. It's a life changer. So I'm also a decades-long martial artist as well, and it's been very helpful in that regard too, because a lot of martial arts stretching in a lot of schools are static in nature. So I do my whole entire routine before I go to the school. And even though I do some dynamic movements with my students to try to get their muscles fired up, you don't have stretch ropes for everybody at the school. So I show them what I can show them. But this is a routine I do before I even go to the school to make sure that I'm ready to take care of business. So with that, let's get to these exercises, okay? Like I said, I'm using a chair and a chair, okay? First one's going to be a hurdle drill, okay? I just envision this as a hurdle. I basically stand here, my hips in alignment with the chair, okay? This one I have in front of me, I can either hold, or it could be a wall, it's fine too, or a fence if you're outside, or it doesn't really matter. You don't even need these, but this is something that I recommend that we do. Okay, so the first thing is you bring the leg up and around and over this hurdle. So ideally when you come over, your knees parallel with your foot, and then you bring it up, your knees over your foot, and you bring it down. Up, over, down, okay? 10 times a side. And then you go to the opposite leg, obviously, okay? As you get stronger and as you do this, you get more experience, you could do 2 sets or 3 sets, but that's over time, okay? But one set right now, you do it nice and slow. It really helps get the muscles triggered up and ready to go and fires them up for activity, okay? Like I said, it's also a great way of building strength. The stronger you are here, the more efficient you're going to be in the lower body, okay? And the more efficient you are, the better you're going to be at conserving energy. And that becomes really, really important. Marathon, half marathon, those longer races, where energy conservation becomes a paramount, especially towards the end when you start to get fatigued and your form starts to change. Okay, your posture and your cadence starts to change. Okay, these are the types of things that can help negate that or extend it out a little longer, help make you more efficient. Okay, that's number one, both sides. Secondly, backwards. Okay, back curl. You bring it up and over. Okay, so bring it up here, knees over the foot, and you turn, bring it over. Knee over the foot, bring the toe out. Okay, just like that. And as you get more experience, you'll be able to make sure your body's straight. You'll be able to get over these things without having to look. Okay? And you become that much more efficient. Okay? Both sides, front and back. Okay? That's the first thing. Okay? That triggers some muscle movement here. Okay? The second thing I want to show you, one of these chairs, okay? I should hold both of them right now, is a way to now to get the quads triggered a little bit and the hamstrings loosened, okay? This is another, it's just a leg raise, like that. Don't worry about how high I can go. This is stuff I do all the time for martial arts, but ideally, you're kicking the leg up, okay? Which gives you a nice way of loosening up your hamstrings, okay? Just bring it up and down. 8 to 10 times, okay? And then you switch sides. Same thing. 8 to 10 times. It's a great way of contracting your quads, but loosening and stretching your hamstrings. Okay. Another way of getting them ready for activity, either after a warm-up or before a run, after a stretch routine. And the last one, in terms of range of motion, is the outside, your adductors and abductors, your hips, okay? Now what I do here, this is the hip movement. You've probably seen this a lot. If you see people doing this, okay? That's part of it, but the positioning of your foot is important. Say, some folks will go out and lead with their toes. That's not hip specific. That starts to trigger your quads and your hamstring again. So ideally what you're going to do is you're going to turn the toes in, okay, like this, in, and you're going to lead with your heels, okay? And you come out like this with your heels. Heel first, okay? 8 to 10 times a side, both sides. That triggers the outside, okay? Now you've got your muscles triggered in your legs, okay? You've gotten fired up, ready for movement. Now I'm going to take you through one more thing. I'm a little headless right now, but don't mind me. Now we're going to put a little weight on the muscles and get them really, really ready. This is something that's good to do before a workout, okay? I would leave this particular sequence before a workout, okay? So again, it's a square, I call it, okay? So it's going to be 4 movements, okay? You need to put your hands on your hips. Front lunge, okay? Then a side lunge, this leg straight. Then a back lunge, okay? And then behind the leg lunge. Okay, so I'll do it again. Front lunge, side lunge, this leg's bent, that leg straight, back lunge, and behind the leg, okay? Both sides, again, you could start with 1 set, or you could start with, and then you could build towards 2 or 3 sets, but that's a great thing to add to a day where you're doing a workout of some sort, okay, where you're going to run fast, you're going to run hard. Getting the muscles triggered and fired up as much as you possibly can before you start doing hard drills or hard running is important, okay? These things will help you do that. So, only went over a few things, but these things are really, really important towards helping you become more efficient, okay? Obviously, upper body strength helps too because you want to maintain good form, okay? Always, particularly in longer races as well. So that's another thing, but I wanted to focus on the lower body today. I could do another video on upper body strengthening and stuff like that if you'd like. If you want me to, put a comment down below, and I'll be happy to do that. But I wanted to keep the focus on the lower body today because it's very, very important. Okay, a lot of the running injuries preside in the lower body, and these are things that can help you build a fortress of strength and range of motion and flexibility to help minimize those potential injuries. So, and again, they're going to enhance your overall performance and make you feel a heck of a lot better too. So, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps YouTube share through its algorithm as well. My ultimate goal is to build this into one of the best running channels out there. So I hope the content is good. I hope you enjoy it. If you do, if you like stuff like this, please hit that subscribe button as well and hit that notification next to it so that you not only have access to about 100 videos that I've already put out, and you'll see fully detailed training programs, everything from middle distance all the way up to the marathon, all different levels, okay? And they're fully detailed, 12 to 15 to 16 weeks, broken down by the day and fully explained, okay? To workouts, to injury prevention, to other types of stuff. I'll put a couple down below so you could see how I lay out the training. And I talk about routines like this as well. I'll put the stretch video in there. I'll put a couple of other videos on how to train in bad weather and how to warm up effectively. That's what I talked about, the sequence. It takes you into a little bit greater detail with the sequence of how to effectively do things to put yourself in the best position to run well, okay? And hit that notification so you don't miss the videos I'm going to be putting out moving forward because they're going to be good ones. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and hit that subscribe. And please share this with anybody you know in the running community that you think might enjoy this, might benefit from the information. I want to help as many people as possible. So I am a USATF certified coach as well. And I've coached and competed at the high school, college, and post-collegiate levels as well. So I am familiar with coaching athletes of all different levels, male and female. So this and the things that I talk about are things that I've implemented with my athletes with a lot of success throughout the years. So I hope they can help you as well. So with that, be safe and look out for each other. Train smart. Talk to you next time.